Have you ever sat down to study or work, really determined, and within minutes, your brain feels like it's on a completely different planet? You tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna focus this time. But somehow, 3 hours later, you scrolled through Instagram, watched a random YouTube video, checked messages, and maybe even napped a little. And the worst part, you're left feeling guilty and frustrated, like you've completely failed yourself. I get it, because I've been there more times than I can count. You're not lazy, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. The truth is, the reason you can't focus is usually hiding in plain sight, and most people totally miss it. Let me tell you a story. Last week, I had this huge essay due. I thought I could power through it in one night, like some kind of productivity superhero. I sat at my desk at 8 p.m., laptop open, notebook ready, and nothing. My brain just refused to cooperate. I stared at the screen, my mind jumping between worrying about deadlines, thinking about what to eat for dinner, wondering what my friends were doing, and scrolling TikTok. 3 hours later, I hadn't written a single sentence. Sound familiar? That's because our brains are wired to seek instant gratification, not long-term focus. And the truth is, most focus advice you see online, like just eliminate distractions or motivate yourself, only addresses part of the problem. There's a deeper reason why we struggle to concentrate. It's not your fault that your brain feels chaotic. Every notification, every little ping, every dopamine hit you get from scrolling or checking your phone is literally rewiring your brain to crave quick rewards. And when you sit down to focus on something that doesn't give that instant payoff, your brain panics. It wants the easier, more rewarding path. On top of that, mental clutter, stress, and burnout make it even worse. Ever notice how impossible it is to focus when your desk is messy, your to-do list is overwhelming, or your brain is bouncing between 10 different thoughts at once? That chaos is not just annoying, it actively sabotages your attention. But here's the good news. Once you understand why your focus is broken, fixing it is a lot simpler than most people think. It's about working with your brain, not against it. The first step is actually deceptively simple. Clear the mental clutter. I know it sounds basic, but most students skip this entirely. Grab a notebook and literally write down everything on your mind. Every task, every worry, every random thought bouncing around. Just dump it all. Don't organize it yet. Don't judge it. Just get it out of your head. This is called a brain dump, and it's amazing for clearing mental space. I can't tell you how many times I've sat there thinking, I have to study, but my brain refuses to start because it's trying to juggle 20 other things at once. Once I started doing brain dumps before studying, I could actually begin focusing instead of spiraling into stress. And the best part? It only takes 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes to write down everything rattling around your brain, and suddenly the task ahead feels manageable instead of impossible. Step 2 is about fighting the dopamine hijack. This is the sneaky little thing that makes YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and even Netflix so irresistible. Every ping or scroll trains your brain to crave instant rewards, which is the exact opposite of focus. The key is to batch your distractions instead of trying to just resist them. You've probably heard of the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. But here's the catch. The break has to be intentional, not mindless scrolling for an hour. Use it as a reward. Stand up, stretch, grab water, take a short walk. Your brain starts learning, okay, I can work now and still get a reward later, which is way more sustainable than punishing yourself for procrastinating. And yes, I know the first few times that 5-minute break can easily turn into 50 minutes if you're not careful. I've done it. That's why step 3 is just as important as the first two. Your environment matters more than you think. If you're lying on your bed trying to study or sitting in a messy room, your brain automatically associates those spaces with relaxation, not productivity. A simple but incredibly effective fix is creating a focus corner. It doesn't need to be fancy. A desk, a chair, and your essentials are enough. Keep it clean, keep out everything that's not necessary. Your phone, snacks, clutter. Just the tools you need to get the work done. I even take it a step further sometimes. Dim the lights slightly. Maybe play soft background music or white noise. It signals to your brain, this is work time. Our brains are creatures of association. If your workspace says, relax, guess what your brain thinks? Yep, relax. But if your environment subtly signals focus, your brain switches modes without you having to force it. Now, step 4 is all about microtasks and momentum. One reason focus fails is because tasks feel overwhelming. An essay, a project, an exam, you look at it and think, there's no way I can do this. That panic shuts down your brain's ability to focus. The solution? Break everything into the tiniest possible steps. Instead of writing an essay, start with the title. Then write one sentence, then a paragraph. Momentum builds automatically. Once you start, focus naturally follows. It's kind of like pushing a heavy door open a crack. You don't have to shove the whole thing at once. And here's a bonus tip that most people ignore. Energy management beats time management every single time. Focus isn't just about eliminating distractions or creating the perfect environment. It's about paying attention to your energy. If you're tired, hungry, or stressed, nothing else matters. Short walks, stretching, hydration, or even a 10-minute power nap can double your focus. Personally, I used to force myself to study at 10 p.m., thinking I was disciplined. The result? Torture. Now, I schedule my hardest work when my energy is naturally highest, usually mid-morning or right after a workout. It's amazing how much easier it is to focus when your brain actually has the fuel to do it. So now that we've talked about environment and energy, let's dive deeper into why focus often slips even when everything seems perfect. Because here's the thing. Sometimes your desk is clean, your phone is across the room, and you've done your brain dump, but your brain still refuses to cooperate. You sit there staring at the screen, feeling that sinking frustration, like you're somehow failing at life in real time. That feeling? That's normal. It's actually your brain signaling that it needs clarity and alignment, not punishment. One of the biggest hidden enemies of focus is what I like to call mental friction. Mental friction is all those tiny things your brain is juggling without even realizing it. Did you eat lunch an hour ago? Are you anxious about a conversation you had today? Did a text you ignored earlier bother you subconsciously? All these invisible thoughts are like tiny weights pulling your attention in 100 different directions. And the scary part is even if you've eliminated obvious distractions, your phone, social media, your messy desk, mental friction will still block focus if you don't deal with it consciously. Here's the fix. It's simple but often overlooked. Set clear, small intentions before each work session. Before you start, take 30 seconds to tell yourself exactly what you're going to do and how. Not something vague like, I'll study math. No, something specific. I'm going to solve the first 5 algebra problems in the next 25 minutes without checking my phone. That little act of writing it down or saying it out loud sends a clear signal to your brain. This is the task. This is the reward. Let's go. It's like giving your focus a compass so it doesn't wander. And speaking of wandering, let's talk about the power of micro pauses. You know those moments where your mind just drifts and you catch yourself staring at a blank screen? Instead of fighting it, use that pause. Close your eyes for 2 seconds, take a deep breath, and refocus. It's amazing how often a tiny reset like that can snap you back into productivity. It's not about forcing attention, it's about gently guiding your brain back to the task. Think of it like steering a car rather than slamming on the brakes. It's smoother, more sustainable, and less stressful. Now let's dig into habit stacking, one of my favorite ways to build automatic focus. The principle is simple. Attach a small, productive habit to an existing routine. For example, if you drink coffee every morning, use that time to review a flashcard, write a journal entry, or plan your day. If you sit down at your desk, always start with one tiny high-value action, like opening the first file or organizing your notes. By stacking habits onto existing cues, your brain starts to associate certain routines with focus automatically. After a few weeks, your body and mind know exactly what to do without conscious struggle. Here's another thing that most students overlook: the role of your physical body in focus. Sounds weird, right? But your posture, breathing, and movement literally affect your brain chemistry. Slouching over a laptop, your mind will slump with you. Leaning back in a comfortable chair, your brain thinks it's time to relax. One simple trick: sit upright, plant your feet firmly on the floor, and take 3 slow, deep breaths before starting a task. That tiny adjustment primes your mind to actually engage. It's subtle, but when combined with the other steps, it adds up to huge gains in attention. And let's not forget the magic of a single starting point. Often, we don't lack focus because we can't pay attention. We lack a clear starting point. You've probably sat there thinking, where do I even start? That indecision alone kills momentum. Here's a practical trick. Choose literally the first word, first sentence, or first tiny task and commit to starting there, no matter what. Just starting creates momentum, and momentum is what focus feeds on. Think of it like rolling a snowball down a hill.
It's tiny at first, but it grows bigger and faster the more it rolls. Now, let's layer in energy management for peak focus. This isn't just about sleeping or drinking water. It's about timing your work according to your natural energy cycles. Notice when your mind is sharpest. Maybe it's right after waking up, or maybe mid-afternoon after a brisk walk. Schedule your hardest tasks during these windows. And if your energy dips, don't force it. Swap in lighter, easier tasks or take a short physical reset. One 10-minute movement break can literally double the effectiveness of your next 25 to 30 minutes of work. Energy management is like giving your brain a supercharger. Without it, all the focus tricks in the world won't stick. Here's where it gets interesting. Our brains are naturally drawn to novelty and challenge. That's why we drift towards social media, games, or even rereading the same sentence over and over in a textbook. To hack focus, you need to give your brain something engaging within the task itself. Break it into mini challenges. Time yourself to complete a section. Turn problems into a game. Reward yourself for finishing each small part. This keeps dopamine flowing in a controlled way instead of your brain constantly seeking outside hits. And here's a little secret most people never mention. Perfectionism kills focus. Waiting until the perfect moment or thinking you need the perfect environment, perfect energy, or perfect plan will keep you frozen. Done is always better than perfect. Start now, adjust as you go. That's how focus grows, not by waiting for the perfect conditions, but by taking imperfect action consistently. Finally, remember this. Focus isn't about forcing yourself to stare at a screen for hours. It's about building a system that works with your brain. Environment, energy, habit, mindset, they all work together. No single hack fixes everything, but when you combine these strategies, brain dump, batch distractions, focus environment, micro tasks, habit stacking, energy management, you create a framework that makes focus natural. Now that we've covered the basics, brain dumps, environment setup, micro tasks, and energy management, let's talk about some advanced focus strategies that actually make a difference. These aren't gimmicks or trendy hacks. These are techniques that work because they respect how your brain actually functions. First up, single tasking like your life depends on it. I know everyone says it, just focus on one thing at a time, but most people don't understand why it's so powerful. Multitasking is a myth when it comes to deep focus. Every time you switch between tasks, your brain has to reset, which wastes time and energy. Even a tiny distraction, like checking a text or glancing at your notifications, interrupts your attention rhythm. So give yourself permission to turn off everything else. Put your phone on airplane mode, close extra tabs, and commit to one task for a fixed window. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in 30 to 40 minutes when your brain isn't constantly bouncing. Here's a personal story. Last semester, I had 3 papers due in the same week. Normally, I would panic, open all documents, and try to juggle them at once. Result, nothing got done. Total mental chaos. Then I tried single tasking. Focus on one paper for 45 minutes, take a 5-minute reset, then move to the next. I got through everything with time to spare, and I felt calm instead of burnt out. Momentum builds when you give your brain one clear target at a time. Next, let's tackle the procrastination trap, which is probably the biggest focus killer. You know the cycle. You sit down to start, your mind says, maybe I'll check this first, or I'm too tired, I'll start in 10 minutes, and suddenly 2 hours have disappeared. The key here is micro commitments. Tell yourself you'll work for just 2 minutes, Seriously, just 2 minutes. Once you start, your brain often keeps going. That initial resistance is the hardest part. Getting over the start line flips a mental switch. Another reason focus fails is mental fatigue from overthinking. Many students are perfectionists or worry constantly about outcomes, grades, or future plans. This creates invisible friction that eats your attention. Here's a simple trick. Reframe the task as an experiment. Instead of thinking, I need to nail this perfectly, think, I'm testing my skills, I'm learning something. That tiny shift reduces stress, opens up your brain, and actually makes it easier to concentrate. Now, I want to talk about visual focus cues, which might sound weird but work surprisingly well. Your brain reacts to patterns and associations. For example, I use colored sticky notes for different types of tasks. Green for easy wins, orange for things that require deep thinking, blue for creative work. Just seeing those colors primes my brain for the type of focus I need. It's like giving your brain a gentle nudge in the right direction without thinking too hard. You don't need a ton of colors, just simple, consistent cues work. Let's layer in time blocking, another underrated strategy. Instead of working randomly throughout the day, assign blocks for different types of work. For example, 9 to 11 a.m., hardest tasks, 11 to 11:30 a.m., break, 11:30 to 1 p.m., lighter tasks, 1 to 2 p.m., lunch and reset. Time blocking gives structure and reduces decision fatigue. The less your brain has to decide what to do next, the more energy it can spend actually focusing. And here's the best part. Combine time blocks with micro tasks and single tasking, and suddenly your productivity isn't about motivation, it's about a system that runs itself. Another advanced hack is the 2-level reward system. Your brain loves instant gratification, so if your work doesn't give immediate feedback, it's going to wander. Here's how to hack it. Create small, immediate rewards for each micro task, plus a larger reward for completing the full session. For example, finish 5 math problems and take a 5-minute stretch. Finish the entire homework session and watch an episode of your favorite show. Your brain learns to associate focus with reward, and you start enjoying the process instead of dreading it. Now, let's address overwhelm and burnout, because even the best focus strategies won't work if your brain is fried. Burnout sneaks up slowly. You feel tired, unmotivated, and anxious, even for tasks you normally enjoy. The key is strategic rest. This isn't just napping or scrolling aimlessly, it's planned, intentional downtime. Take a walk, meditate for 5 minutes, or do light stretching. These short resets reduce mental friction and recharge your attention capacity. Remember, your brain isn't a machine, it needs maintenance. And finally, here's a big one. Identity-based focus. This means thinking about yourself not just as someone who wants to study or get work done, but as someone who is capable of focus and discipline. When you identify as the kind of person who focuses, your brain naturally starts aligning behavior with that identity. Little things start to click. You sit at your desk automatically, you handle distractions without panic, and focus becomes a habit rather than a constant battle. Here's a practical exercise to embed this. Every morning, say to yourself, I am a focused student. I take action on what matters. Repeat it silently or write it in your journal. It might feel silly at first, but over time your brain starts to believe it and your actions follow. This is subtle but incredibly powerful for building long-term focus without relying on sheer willpower. Now that we've gone through all the hacks, tricks, and mindset shifts, let's bring everything together into a realistic daily routine you can actually follow. I'm talking about something that doesn't feel overwhelming, doesn't require 16-hour workdays, but still sets you up to focus like a pro.
Start with your morning routine. Seriously, how you begin the day sets the tone for everything else. Even if you're not a morning person, just commit to 15-20 minutes of intentional focus. Here's an example. Wake up, drink a glass of water, do a 5-minute brain dump of everything on your mind, then review your priority list for the day. That's it. You've already cleared mental clutter, aligned your tasks, and given your brain a gentle cue that focus is starting now. No phone, no distractions, just you and your plan. Next, implement micro-focus sessions. Use 25 to 40-minute blocks with 5 to 10-minute breaks. During the work block, do one thing at a time. No multitasking, no distractions. After the break, reset your posture, stretch, and breathe. The key is consistency. It's better to have 3 highly focused sessions than one marathon where your brain burns out halfway through. And don't forget evening reflection. Before you sleep, take 5 minutes to write down what you accomplished, what you struggled with, and what you want to do tomorrow. This acts as both a mental reset and a tiny dopamine reward for completing the day's focus goals. It also primes your brain for tomorrow's session, reducing morning friction and making starting easier. Here's another tip. Rotate task types. Don't hit the same kind of work for hours. Alternate between creative, analytical, and review tasks. This keeps your brain engaged without overstressing one cognitive area. For example, after writing an essay paragraph, solve a few math problems. Then do some light review or summarizing notes. Variety keeps your focus fresh. Let's talk mental energy shortcuts. Sometimes you just can't force your brain into focus because you're drained. That's when tiny rituals help. This could be something as simple as brewing a cup of tea, opening your favorite notebook, or lighting a scented candle. Whatever subtly signals to your brain it's time to work. Over time, these rituals become automatic triggers for focus, and you start associating these small cues with productive sessions. One more underrated factor: body rhythm awareness. Your focus is deeply connected to your circadian rhythm. If you know you're sharper in the morning, schedule deep work then. If late afternoon is your peak, make that your creative block. Fighting your natural rhythm is exhausting and unnecessary. Work with your biology, not against it. Now, let's address the emotional side of focus. So often, students get caught in a spiral of guilt, stress, or perfectionism. Feeling like you should be doing more or that everyone else is ahead actually shuts down your ability to focus. Here's the mindset trick: compassionate productivity. Treat focus like a skill you're learning, not a character flaw. Mistakes and distractions aren't failures, they're feedback. Every time you redirect your attention after a slip, you strengthen your focus muscles. Here's a story from my own life. I used to spend hours feeling bad about procrastinating, which made it worse. Then I started reframing. If I messed up, I'd just note it and move on. No shame, just action. Within weeks, my sessions became smoother and my stress dropped dramatically. That's the magic of emotional alignment with focus. It's not just about strategy, it's about how you feel while executing it. Let's combine everything into a simple, repeatable structure for a study or work session. Brain dump and priority alignment, 2 to 5 minutes. Micro focus block, 25 to 40 minutes on one task. Intentional break, 5 to 10 minutes, stretch, water, reset. Alternate task types, creative to analytical to review. End of session reflection, 2 to 5 minutes. Do this for 2 to 3 cycles and you'll feel your focus deepening naturally. The key is small, consistent actions, not brute force willpower. And here's the big takeaway. Focus isn't about forcing your mind into submission. It's about creating conditions where your brain wants to focus. Environment, energy, habits, and mindset all work together. Remove friction, reward attention, respect your rhythm, and allow small wins to accumulate. Over time, focus becomes effortless instead of a constant struggle. Before we wrap up, I want you to remember this: your brain is not your enemy. Feeling distracted doesn't mean you're lazy or failing. It means your system needs alignment, and alignment is something you can build step by step. So tonight, try one thing from this video. Maybe it's a brain dump, a micro focus session, or a tiny ritual to signal focus. Just one thing. See what happens tomorrow. If you follow these steps consistently, you'll notice something magical. Starting tasks becomes easier. Procrastination loses its power, and your productivity becomes something you control, not something you chase. You'll start to enjoy the process instead of dreading it. And that, my friend, is the real secret to focus. So let's level up together. Implement these strategies, treat focus like a muscle, and remember,
done is better than perfect. Every tiny step forward counts. You've got this, and your brain will follow. If you found this video helpful, hit like, comment which tip you're going to try first, and subscribe for more practical ways to study smarter, focus deeper, and improve your life step by step. We'll tackle this journey together, one session at a time.